Hey, it's Cobra here at MaddenGuides.com, and for this Madden 22 defensive plays video breakdown, want to take a look at a defense out of the $326, and the name of the defense is called Okie Roll 3. And what this defense is going to be about is we're going to show you how to get some pressure, and it's kind of a cool looking defense in a sense because of the role that you get with it. But the one thing I have an issue with it is it can tell your opponent what you're running, at least initially, but there is something you can do where they won't be able to tell, and I'm going to show that to you in the video breakdown. Also, this was from a subscriber, Corey Johnson. He wanted to see how we could get some pressure, how I could get some pressure with this defense, and I want to go ahead and show him that, and the rest of you out there who are watching this video. And I think you guys will find this particular defense certainly can bring some pressure on the quarterback. And honestly, you can get it with only two men rushing the quarterback, which is really cool. And we'll go ahead and show that here in just a second. Before we do that, let's go ahead and take a look at the play diagram and some play info with the Okie Roll 3 from the $326. And as you look at it, again, it is the Okie Roll 3. The formation, obviously, the dollar. The set is from the 326. The personnel is 3 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, 6 defensive backs. The coverage type is zone. The coverage shell is cover 3. The blitz type is a zone blitz. The gap pressure is from the B and C gaps. Pass rushers are 5 and pass defenders are 6. So that's it as far as what the information about this particular formation and play has. Now let's go and take a look at the playbooks you can find this particular play out of. You can find it out of the Chiefs, the Jets, the Panthers, the Raiders, the Redskins, and Saints. And for this video breakdown, we're going to go ahead and use the Saints defensive playbook. So let's go ahead and get right on into it, and we'll show you how to get some pressure from the Okie Roll 3. So as you look at it, let's go ahead and just go down here and take a look at something about this particular play, because you're going to notice once I get to it that there's going to be 2 other plays that use the same type of roll. So on top of the Okie Roll 3, the Okie Roll 2, and then the strong corner 2 fire, they also have that same type of roll coverage, which you're going to see here in just a second if you're not familiar with this particular defense. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and get on the field again. I'm going to go ahead and call the Okie Roll 3. And then from the offensive side of the ball, I think we'll go ahead and use the Falcons playbook. We're going to run this out of the, at least initially, the gun doubles halfback weak formation. And I guess we'll go ahead and run this. We'll go ahead and run the curl combo. That looks like a decent play to run. It's got everybody going out. So just keep in mind, all 5 of them are going out. Now, as you're watching your screen there, you would have noticed that there was a roll. Let's go ahead and just reset it so you guys can see it again. And you're going to see the roll going on between the nickelback, the free safety, and strong safety. Now, the strong safety is going to line up now down here. And then the free safety lines up over there. And I want to say this is going to be the nickelback who actually goes up and plays this position right here. So that's where you get the roll of the coverage. And then as you look at it, you can see we're still in cover 3. Now, as I mentioned, one of the issues with this is your opponent can see immediately what you're into, because they're going to have a pretty good idea. It's probably, if they've seen this formation before and seen this play, they can see that rotation going on right off the bat. So it's probably going to tell them. However, one of the cool things you can do is you can go ahead and just reset the play. Let's go and reset it. And then let's go back into it again. And then you can audible. So there's all the rotation right there, but you can audible into another play as well, and which makes it pretty cool. So for example, let's go ahead and audible into the cover 3 sky press. Now, the only thing that might tip them off a little bit is you would have noticed that this linebacker who was lined up over here came to the inside. But still, the rest of everything else looks pretty much the same. You can see that you got your safety still down here in the box, and then you got everything else looking pretty much the same. So the coverages don't change. As far as the way the defenders move, they don't go back and reset like I did earlier when I reset them. They don't reset when you audible into another formation. For example, let's not formation, but into another play. So this time here, I'll go into the cover 2 drop. Same thing as you look at it. Now, obviously, the only down thing about this is, if you look at this particular defense, you're going to notice that we have a little bit of only issue here is that this guy right here and then this guy, both are playing the two deep coverage. So you got this guy going way over here, and you got this guy having to go all the way across. that might not be ideal. But if you go back into the cover 3 defense, that's not so bad. That's not a big deal there. It looks like a traditional cover 3 type defense. So that's not even a big deal there. The other thing is you could always audible, for example, if you want to go into, this is by default audibles for this particular formation of the $326, you can audible into the cover 2 man LB blitz. And again, there it is, looks like that. It's not too bad because at least you're in man coverage, so at least you can hold some guys off as far as not leaving people open. So just keep that in mind. But anyway, you can audible right into this and into different plays within the formation. Once you do call the Okie Roll 3 or the other coverages as well, or at least the other 2 defenses that look kind of like this one, and then you can audible into another play, and then they won't be able to tell. So I just wanted to point that out to you. All right, now with that said, I'm going to go ahead and run this, and I will tell you right off the bat, if you look at this particular defense, you're going to notice that, let's go ahead and reset this. When you look at this, you're going to see you're going to get an overload from the right side of the offensive line as you look at it. So you're going to get a couple blitzers here. You're going to get the safety and a corner blitzing off the edge here. And then you're going to get this defensive lineman as well rushing the quarterback. So you're going to get those 3. So you're going to get an overload to the right side of the offensive line. And then you're also going to have, in this case, it's going to be the right end. It's going to be coming off the edge over there. So you got a 4-man pass rush, which really probably not going to get a lot of pressure, at least you wouldn't think. And let's just go ahead and run this and show you. See right there, one guy finally got in, but the consistency of this isn't going to be there for you generally if you just run it as is. Now, there's some things we can do, and I'm going to show it to you in just a second. Let's go ahead and run it again. That's going to allow you to get a little bit more consistent pressure there. There we're getting blocked. Eventually it gets through, but it's not like super fast pressure. You know what I mean? You're not getting that super fast pressure. So that's the downside of this. Now, what I want to show you is how to get the pressure with this particular defense fairly quick. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and do it the way I was messing around with this over the last couple hours here this morning. And like I said, I haven't really had a chance to get online and run this defense or anything like that. It was just because, again, it was a request. I thought I'd go ahead and get into the lab and start messing around and see what I can come up with. So this is what I came up with, and I'm going to go ahead and show it to you guys and see what you guys think. And for those of you guys out there who are following along and you've ran this defense before and you probably have maybe a better setup than I got, or you found something that works better, by all means, you know, I don't hold it against anybody. If you guys can help and contribute to the YouTube channel, more power to you. You know, post it, let them know. Let Corey know that, hey, I've got something here that works real well for me, a little bit better than what Krober just showed. Now, guys, I'll be appreciative of that. Don't think I won't be. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and flip the defense here. So what I like to do is flip it because I feel like I get a little bit better with the flipping of it. And again, I'm going to go back in here and run this curl combo. Now, again, we're going to get that same rotation. Just now, remember, it's just flipped. Now, this time we've got the free safety who's lined up down in the box right here. Now, I'm going to show you how to get some pressure with this one. So all you really got to do, if you really want to get some pressure, is just move this guy in here. This is going to be the dime back right here. You just move him in. And if you want to, you can switch off to whoever you want. And I know a lot of us, I'm going to go ahead and switch off to this nose tackle because I know a lot of us, what we like to do is we like to control these areas here and try to, you know, take away the middle of the field. So for right now, I'm just going to switch off to this guy right here, which is the nose tackle. Of course, he doesn't have the best agility, but that's who I'm going to go ahead and switch off to. So let's just go ahead and run it. Now, with this setup, it's pretty much the idea of the same thing I showed earlier. We're looking to get an overload from the left side of the offensive line rather than the right side. But this one tends to be a little bit more consistent as far as getting pressure. So let's just go ahead and run it. And then you're going to see right there, we get that pressure off the edge. So that's a simple setup right there that only requires 4-man pass rush. So you're going to look at it with this setup I'm showing, you're going to have a 4-man pass rush as you look at it here. So you're going to get the 4 defenders right here rushing the quarterback. And then you're still going to go ahead and get, you're going to still get these guys here as you look at your screen, get those 5, you know, defenders plus the other defender. It's off the screen there that are going to get you the pressure on the quarterback, or 6 guys, whatever it is. You get 6 guys, you know, dropping back. So anyway, that are in zone coverage. So let's go and run it one more time here. I'm going to switch off again over to the nose tackle. And it's pretty consistent for the most part. And every once in a while, he might get hung up, such as there, but he'll still get in. So you get the pressure on the quarterback with this setup. And that's about it right there on far as that. Another way you can set this one up if you want, you can move him to the inside right around this area here. That's another way of doing it. And it'll be pretty much the same idea. He'll get around there and get pressure on him as far as getting the pressure on the quarterback. So that's another way of doing it. You can do it two different ways, what I just showed you. All right, let's continue on with this. I want to show you another couple more setups with this. So we're going to do the same idea here. We're going to go ahead and move this guy in. And then I'm going to take control of this guy, which is going to be the right end. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you this. This one here I don't feel is quite as real comfortable with as far as getting pressure. But if you want to, and you want to get edge pressure over here, it's kind of what I showed you, the manual pass rush. Now, you got to slide him in a couple notches in. You're going to have to manually take control of him and slide him in. And then you're just going to go ahead and try to work your way around out here from the outside here and try to get pressure on the quarterback. And that's the one thing with this particular setup here. I don't feel like I can get that same, you know, how I've been getting that manual pass rush that I've showed in other videos. I don't feel like with this particular defense, I get that same effect. And I don't know what it is. It just doesn't seem to work, even with a X Factor. I'm going to slide them in one more notch this time. So I'm going to slide them in 3 notches into the inside here. And then I'm going to work my way around here and just try to get around here. And see, what I've noticed, and you're just seeing it right there, I'm getting double team a lot of times. And that's why I don't feel like I can get as much pressure with that. That's one of the reasons I wasn't really encouraging with that. So what I would suggest with him, rather than doing that and putting him in a, in the flat and trying to manually rush him, what I'm going to tell you guys to do is forget that here with that one. Put him in QB spy. You know, if you put him in QB spy, the nice thing about that is now he can drop back and take away if the quarterback decides to try to take off and run, say he's a fast quarterback. Now at least you got somebody spying him. Now, what you could do is, I'm going to go ahead and run it this way for right now. Let's go ahead and do this. So he's going to go ahead and we're still going to get that pressure. Now I got the QB spy, got the pressure off the edge. I only got a 3-man pass rush. So I'm down to 3 defenders, literally just rushing the quarterback with this setup I just showed. And plus I get the spy. So now we got 3 defenders here that are rushing the quarterback. And then we got this one lone defender that I just put spying. So now we have 7 defenders dropping back in some type of coverage that's going to allow us to, keep the quarterback from taking off and running. So that's another thing you do. Now we can go back in here and take control of this guy again. Remember, I put him in, I'm going to go ahead and put him in QB spy. But if you want, you can manually pass rush him still. And he's just going to be a little delayed. And you can work around like this. And then you can, I just fell down because I started hitting the A button. But you can do that right there. You can go ahead and manually pass rush him. Let him go ahead and drop back a little bit and then manually pass rush. Is it as effective as the other where I've showed you the manual pass rush? No. But as far as putting them in a flat, but it certainly will allow you to, it'll definitely allow you to go ahead and get around here. And then you get this, and then right there, we still get pressure. That time we actually got blocked on the left side. But anyway, that's another thing you can do. All right. So I want to continue on with this. Next thing you can do, if you so choose, go ahead and put him back where I was showing you earlier behind here. This time I'm going to put this guy right here. I'm going to go ahead and drop him back into a, let's go ahead and put him into a curl flat. So now we've got this guy right here, which is going to be the right end. I just put him into a curl flat. And then I'm going to put this guy in QB spy. So now if you look at it, we have only got a 2-man pass rush. And so can we get pressure with a 2-man pass rush? Can I get these 2 guys in, at least one of them, and get pressure on the quarterback? And I sure can. So let's go ahead and run this, see what happens with it. Now, is it super consistent? No, but it's pretty consistent. As you see on your screen right there, 2-man pass rush. I just got pressure on the quarterback with 2 guys literally from this defense that I just showed here. So for all this thing I went through, this is what it all led up to. This is the final of the setup is what I'm showing. Make sure you get him, put him a little behind there. Drop this guy back into a curl flat, such as I'm showing on your screen. Put this guy in a QB spy if you want, if you so choose. That's what I'm going to do. Put him in QB spy. And then I'm going to go ahead and run the play and see what happens here. That time he actually got blocked. In case he's going to get blocked. But man, you're only rushing 2 guys, and the other option is you still have the option of rushing that defensive end I talked about earlier. I'm just going to throw that down. I don't care if it gets picked. Let's go ahead and set up one more time here and just take a look at it. And it's certainly, it's not a bad defense. It can bring some pressure. You can still disguise it, which is nice. And you can definitely, get a 2-man pass rush from it. Let's go ahead and put this guy in a curl flat there. Or, yeah. And then we'll go ahead and put this guy in that right there. All right, there's the setup right there. And I'm going to go ahead and run the defense. Let's see if we'll get that pressure here, how consistent it is this time. There it goes right there. So we got the pressure again. 2-man pass rush. Not too bad for a defense that initially didn't look like I was going to really like it too much because of the rotation. But then when I started digging around to it, knowing that I could audible into another defense and still keep the same rotation without it re-rotating, And then I thought, hey, that's pretty cool. And then what can I do as far as getting pressure? And that's when I started adding all the stuff. So it's kind of like I've shown you guys in previous videos as I walked you through my train of thought and the way I go through, showing blitzes and stuff as far as these breakdowns. This is a perfect example of how I do it. I just keep adding to it, subtracting to it, finding mismatching, see what I can come up with that allow you to get pressure on the quarterback. So again, guys, I want to tell Corey Johnson, thanks for the request. You guys out there, if you guys got requests, you guys want to see plays broken down, whether on offense, defense, I don't care. I like doing this. I enjoy helping you guys out. Like I said, I'm just an average Joe player. I ain't the same player I was 20 years ago. I mean, I don't have as much time to put into the game as some of those guys out there that are super, super hardcore. But I do have enough time once in a while to get out here into the lab and start breaking down plays for you guys. And that's what I enjoy doing. So at any rate, guys, if you guys got requests, you guys can post them in the comments. You guys can hit me up on the email address that I got. It's maddenguides@gmail.com. Send me a request. Hey, Cobra, can you break this play down? Of course I can. And I will do it for you guys. So again, guys, I appreciate it. You guys hanging out and watching this video breakdown. It's Sunday afternoon, getting ready to start some football. Regular NFL games on tap today. I got my Cowboys playing the Chiefs. You can darn well bet I will be watching that game. So enjoy yourselves, guys. Thanks again.